But Xander Zayas is a very good fighter, a complete fighter, a fighter who I think presents next to the most, he probably the second most difficult guy to fight in the weight class because he's rangy. He can do so many things. He can fight inside. He can fight outside. He's a great body puncher. He's a very, very...
All those fights are great for boxing. If Boots beats Xander and dominates the way people expect him to do, then he's solid at 150.
Boxing analysts have strongly questioned Xander Zayas' chances against Jaron Ennis, saying the young fighter could be heading into his most difficult fight so far. Timothy Bradley Jr. was one of the loudest voices, suggesting that Zayas may be moving up too quickly in competition. While he praised Zayas' sharp boxing IQ and natural skills inside the ring, he also warned that this step could be risky at this stage of his career.
Talent standpoint, and he is talented as well. Xander has a really boxing high IQ. He does. And you can tell not only in the ring, but you can tell outside, even when he does commentary. You know, he's an extremely smart kid. Or young man, I should say. But at 23, 2 belts, and you want to face that guy? Like, I'm like, man, what? If I'm managing or I'm like, man, come on, bro. Like, calm your down real quick. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. Like, we can maybe beat him, but shit, we unsure. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Because
Sean Porter shifted attention away from the danger for Xander Zayas and instead highlighted how sharp Jaron Ennis looked during sparring. He praised Ennis for his smooth movement and easy, controlled footwork, noting how impressive he appeared throughout the round.
That dude, his feet are just amazing, bruh.
You got great feet. So.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm looking, my stuff was different. He like literally can like just kind of like dance and flow. It's really special to see his feet, the way he moves. But all that being said, I was able to get in the ring with Boots this past week, and we got some good rounds in. We got in 2 rounds. He went 10 total. Mm-hmm. We got in 2, and we both were kind of like lingering in the ring. I think he was thinking about going one more. Maybe I felt it. I was like, "You want to go one more?" He was like, "It's on you." I was like, "No, it's on you." You know. So we actually ended up doing 3 rounds.
Chris Algieri offered a different view, saying that Xander Zayas' movement and technical boxing skills could still cause real stylistic challenges for Jaron Ennis.
Calculated move. I think it's a smart move. I really do, because not only is this a huge opportunity and a huge fight, he can win. That's the craziest thing. I'm talking to people and they're like, I think Boots is too confident. I think Boots thinks he's gonna walk over this kid. I'm like, stylistically, it's a really tough fight for Boots. I've never seen Boots really close the distance on a guy who can move and is gonna punch. Because if he sits there and fights the way that he did against Karen Chugatsian in the first fight, he loses. If he fights in the same way he did in the Karen Chugatsian second fight, he loses. You can't just walk in the front door. Who was the Armenian fighter that he fought? That Terrence Crawford had KO. Avanesian, exactly. You fight that fight with Xander, you lose. You can't fight that way. You've got to show me things you haven't shown. I've heard you can do it in the gym.
Sergio Mora also added to the split opinions, cautioning Jaron Ennis not to underestimate Xander Zayas' drive, physical strengths, and strong hunger to win going into the fight.
With flying colors, man, and I think Boots better respect what he has in front of him. Even though the measurements stay the same, I saw a bigger, younger fighter motivated to do something great in Zayas. And if Boots is not careful and is a little bit too much overconfident, then this is a type of fight where he can be exposed. There was something both of them were going on, saying they both get hit. Yes, they do, but Boots gets hit being offensive. Zayas gets hit, being a little bit pulling his head back, rookie mistake.
Ronnie Shields was not willing to count Xander Zayas out, saying he still has enough danger in his style to possibly shock Jaron Ennis, even with all the rising doubts around the fight.
But this is going to be a great fight. I mean, really and truly, it's going to be a great fight. Boots has all the skills in the world. He can fight orthodox or southpaw. But Xander can really fight. I mean, this guy is not world champion for nothing. He's world champion for a reason. And, and I know Boots is not going to take this lightly. But, I give the edge to Boots just because of the guys he's fought already. But you can't close your eyes on Xander because this kid can really go. And, if you catch him on a good night, he can upset Boots.
As fight night draws closer, more boxing voices have joined the growing debate with very split predictions about the matchup. On one side, Boozy Ennis backed the fight itself and viewed Xander Zayas as a rare young talent willing to step into dangerous territory against Jaron Ennis. He also praised Zayas' calm presence, strong ring intelligence, and his willingness to face challenges that many fighters tend to avoid.
We want to fight whoever, man. It doesn't make a difference. I think that was in the makings. I think he's the only one that accepted, take the fight with Boots. You know what I mean? I don't know how it came about, though, but I know Eddie was working to get Boots the fights that he want, you know what I mean? So there was nobody else available at the time because all the other guys had fought already, the ones that we wanted, you know what I mean? So, and then I'm glad my young boy stepped up. He stepped up to the plate, you know what I mean? And it should be a good little fight, like I said. It should be a good fight. He can box. You know what I mean? He's a good fighter, man. You can't take nothing away from him. People talking about this and talking about, but I think he's a good fighter.
Responding to the criticism, Boozy Ennis claimed that Jaron Ennis may not have the same level of motivation heading into a rematch after dominating the first fight so comfortably. He also brushed off a lot of the outside opinions, saying that many people in boxing comment without truly understanding what it takes to compete at championship level.
You know what I mean? Boots makes his mind up. So Boots didn't really want to fight that guy that second time around, man. You see what he did the first time, wouldn't he? Second time, his mind wasn't really in on it at that time. You know what I mean? He wasn't even in on it at that time. You know what I mean? Because we didn't want to fight him for again. We didn't beat him every round last time. You know what I mean? But I don't, matter of fact, you know what? I don't even pay attention to what people say, man. Some of these guys that's running their mouth never fought a day in their life, never had a street fight, man. So, you know what I mean? Let them keep on running their mouth. And then you got all them haters out there, though. You know what I mean? They don't want to see nobody make it anyway. You know what I mean? So that's my words back to them. And then some of them commentators and some of them sports fighters, whatever you want to call them, some of them don't even know what they're talking about. You know what I mean?
Sean Porter went deeper into his analysis, saying Jaron Ennis looked much sharper in sparring than his recent fights might suggest. He also remembered how Ennis' speed, timing, and defensive skills were so strong that opponents often reacted before his punches were even fully thrown.
Moving his feet, it was marvelous, honestly, to see this dude defensively move the way that he does things. When you look at him in the fight, I think, especially as of late, he's gotten complacent. I know for a fact that there were things that just holding him back from being his best version of himself. You don't want to fight the same guy twice. You know what I mean? Like, there's things that just held him back and held him away from being as good as we know he can be. I saw him fighting, I saw it in sparring. This dude punched me with a right hand. The joint came so fast, I didn't even see it, right? And it hit me on the forehead. And I got my headgear on. And it jarred my neck, right?
At the same time, Tim Bradley emphasized that Jaron Ennis is under huge pressure to fully prove the level of hype built around his championship skills. He also added that once the competition steps up, Ennis is likely to become even more focused and sharper in his performances.
Boots is put in a situation in this fight to where he has to show the hell up and show the hell out. Because there's been so much hype and so much clout around him, and he hasn't gotten the opportunity to really showcase. I mean, the biggest opportunity that he got was when he fought against Ennis, and he passed that with flying colors. And so it's like, I don't think we've seen the best Boots yet, right? And I know one thing about like fighters that have like a really high skill set and have the mentality of a Boots Ennis.
Showbiz the adult still believed Xander Zayas could seriously trouble Jaron Ennis, even though Ennis is widely rated among boxing's elite pound-for-pound fighters. He also warned that if Zayas pulls off a win, it would completely change how fans and experts evaluate both fighters going forward.
Boots' toughest opponent to date. As far as announced, we're not sure what's going to happen in a fight. Do I have Boots as of right now? Yeah. But I think Xander Zayas is going to give Boots trouble. I do. I think it's a good fight. If Xander Zayas were to win, that would be like, holy shit. I'm not sure what that would mean. Maybe I overrated Boots too much. You know, Boots, I have Boots in my top 5 pound for pound, actual best fighters in the world. Xander Zayas, if he were to beat him, I don't know if that's me overrating Boots or if we're not looking at Xander Zayas right. Either way, Xander Zayas is extremely talented, and he's coming off of that viral, viewed all over the world, Bad Bunny historic Super Bowl halftime show. Xander Zayas and Vargas, they were
Leaning toward an upset, Angelo Leo praised how confidently Xander Zayas has dealt with all the pressure leading into such a high-risk fight. He pointed out that even at just 23 years old, Zayas shows strong composure in a dangerous matchup against Jaron Ennis. Still, Leo acknowledged the level of risk involved, but ultimately felt Zayas could edge a very close contest.
I'm gonna go with, man, I like them both. I really like what how Xander is handling all this. You know, he's down to fight whoever, whenever, and he's already 23 years old. He's already a unified champion, and I like that about him. You know, he's not afraid to, get his feet wet in this division. So, but Boots, Boots is a tremendous fighter, very skilled as well. I'm gonna go with. It's a tough one. I'm gonna go with Xander with this one.
Focusing on the technical aspect, Angelo Leo said Xander Zayas' footwork and movement could cause many of the same issues that have troubled Jaron Ennis before. However, he also pointed out that Zayas carries enough power to capitalize and punish Ennis whenever he loses control of distance in the ring.
From Zayas, he will be an underdog. What do you see from him in the fight?
He's got pretty good footwork. And I think that could offset Boots' style, according to how he's dealt with movers in the past.
Like Chukazan? Karen.
Yeah, exactly. Fighters like him, I think Boots is, Zayas, he's got that and a little bit more than Karen.
People, I think, too, are questioning, though. It's a question I have. Is, okay, exploit holes that Chukazan showed, but do you have enough power to make it count? To make those moments where you connect and you have success. Do you think he has enough power?
At the same time, Andre Berto called the matchup between Xander Zayas and Jaron Ennis one of the biggest upcoming events in boxing. He emphasized that the pressure, energy, and strong support from the Puerto Rican crowd would be a true test, showing whether both fighters have what it takes to compete and succeed at the championship level.
Oh, man. That's the fight I think everybody wants to see coming up, man. That's going to be the fight to watch. I give credit, like the Zayas for stepping up to the plate like he did and really call and say that he wanted this fight. But we're going to see if this fight is a little too much for him too soon. But if not, you're going to see the next new, Puerto Rican superstar, born in one night. You know what I mean? So, but for Boots, man, we're really going to see, if he can rise to the occasion. Because I'll tell you one thing, like I said, like MSG, Puerto Rican Day, it's going to be a completely different vibe. I've been there a few times for these big fights.
Pete Dobson offered a much stronger opinion, saying that Jaron Ennis is on an entirely different level than Xander Zayas when it comes to pure boxing ability. He also argued that top fighters had already recognized Ennis' championship caliber talent through sparring sessions long before the public caught on. According to Dobson, Ennis' performances in the gym have consistently set him apart from most of the fighters in his division.
I think that it's a 50-50 fight.
I think he destroys it.
And what separates him?
He's levels above Xander. Like I feel like boxing fans, they don't really know boxing. They like, this is the thing I always say in boxing, right? We're in the gym. Like, fighters are in the gym. The top fighters spar each other before, so we know who's good and who's not good. Feel me? We know what level somebody's on. So just being in the ring with Jaron Ennis and seeing Xander, I know he's levels above him, way better than him. And they say Jaron hasn't fought anybody, but Stan Yossis was somebody until he fought him. Now he didn't fight anybody. Like, the fans is, these boxing fans is hard to please, man.
Pete Dobson made it clear that he sees Jaron Ennis as a far superior boxer compared to Xander Zayas, believing the gap in skill between them is significant. He explained that many elite fighters were aware of Ennis' world-class talent from his sparring performances long before fans began noticing it. In Dobson's view, the level Ennis consistently shows in the gym has always placed him above most competitors in the division.
I'm talking about Gerard. Like,
Oh,
he don't-
yeah.
everybody sees him like as a slick boxer, but when he's fighting, he don't really want to box. He wants to brawl. You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a detriment at times? Because I know that they say, you know, if you have great attributes, because like when you Connor, you used your attributes and made it difficult. You didn't choose. Not saying you couldn't, but you made it a thinking man game. Do you think sometimes that bravado might be a little dangerous for a guy like Gerard?
Most definitely, but it hasn't been dangerous for. I feel like when you're in the ring, you feel when you need to like slow down your bravado or whatever. Like you need to fall back. So we have nobody has made him have to fall back yet. So.
Keith Thurman explained that he still needed to study more of Xander Zayas' fights before fully taking the matchup discussion seriously. While he acknowledged Zayas' success, he remained doubtful about the quality of opponents Zayas had beaten on his way to becoming a unified champion. Thurman also suggested that highlight clips alone were not enough to convince him that the growing hype around Zayas was fully justified.
I don't know. I haven't seen enough of Xander Zayas, man. I just saw some highlights. What, Miami?
Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale?
South Florida. Yeah.
Oh, South Florida. Okay, that's real Florida. Because Miami's not Florida, by the way. But, you know what I'm saying?
Really?
Yeah, it's like Northern Caribbean islands and stuff. You didn't know that? Anyways, so at the end of the day, you know, I just been too busy, man.
Yeah.
Wife, kids, new baby boy. I just don't watch boxing, man. I watch like one Canelo fight a year and some other fight, one to 3 fights a year on average, you know? So I got to do tape. After this fight, I got to go hit the tape and the study.
Continuing his analysis of the fight, Keith Thurman said there are still too many unanswered questions about how Xander Zayas would perform over the course of a full championship-level bout. He also noted that Jaron Ennis needs wins against rising champions like Zayas to truly confirm and strengthen the growing reputation he has built in the sport.
Watch a full fight and see how his demeanor is throughout a whole fight. If he's a slow starter, fast starter, there's a lot of things that I don't know about this Xander Zayas kid, man. But good for him and his accomplishments. Puerto Rico's got something to cheer for. I know they're very grateful and excited to have a young champion like him. But yeah, Boots Ennis is just an athlete, very athletic boxer, trains very hard. They say he's the baddest, you know, and he needs to do something like take one of these new young champions like a Josh Kelly or a Xander Zayas, so that them promoting him as the baddest in this division, it starts holding some weight, and it's not just a lot of...
Sharing his thoughts on the build-up, Greg Hackett believed both Xander Zayas and Jaron Ennis would approach the fight as the most important moment of their careers. He dismissed much of the talk from the press conferences, arguing that Zayas is now highly motivated to prove he belongs among the sport's elite. According to Hackett, that sense of urgency could elevate the intensity of the fight and make it far more competitive once the action begins.
I think Xander is preparing for the fight of his life. So is Boots. I mean, it's a big fight. It's a lot riding on this. So I'm looking for the night to be a good night, for sure.
Tell me, now that watching the press conference, what you get out of the interaction?
I mean, a lot of people was like, you know, they feeling better about Boots because he was talking. I really don't care for that part too much, you know, all the talking, because the contracts is signed and we here. I feel like Xander is at a point where he know he gotta. The reason I think this is gonna be a great fight, because Xander feels like, listen, I have to show y'all that I can fight.
Discussing the pressure around the fight, Greg Hackett said it was easy to understand why Xander Zayas carries so much confidence after rising through the division at such a rapid pace. He believes Zayas has finally reached the level of attention and opportunity that many people had been calling for over the years. In Hackett's view, claims that Zayas is not ready overlook just how much he has already accomplished and how far he has come in a short period of time.
That can fuel you. That can fuel you in a good way. And I feel like that's what Xander feel like. But at the same time, I feel like Xander feels like he already made it. You know what I mean? And I'm not mad at him for that, because to be undisputed, I mean, not undisputed, unified. To be unified champion at 54 so fast, it happened for him kind of fast. You know what I'm saying? I can understand the high that he's on. You know what I mean? And Boots, on the other hand, this is what he's been looking for. He's been looking for a guy that everybody say is a guy for him to be fighting. Now, some people say they don't like the fight because Xander's inexperienced, Xander ain't good enough, and this and that. Well, how did
23
he?
years old.
Yeah, but how did he get here? Like, you know what I mean? It's none of our faults. It's nobody's fault. It's the business.
Looking at the physical side of the matchup, the analyst described Xander Zayas as exceptionally large for the junior middleweight division, even though his listed measurements are similar to Jaron Ennis. He also questioned whether Ennis' punching power would have the same impact when facing an opponent who is naturally bigger and stronger.
They're going to fight June 27th at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. They both 5'10". They both listed at 5'10". They both listed with a 74-inch armage. But the size of Xander Zayas is mind-boggling to me at 154. He is absolutely huge, man. Y'all see this picture? Xander Zayas is huge. It's going to be interesting to see if Jaron Boots Ennis' punching power is going to have the same effect on Xander Zayas as it does everybody else.
Analyzing the styles involved, the analyst viewed Xander Zayas as a much more difficult challenge for Jaron Ennis than Vergil Ortiz Jr. He pointed to Zayas' reach, mobility, timing, and overall movement as key strengths that could create unique problems, unlike Ortiz's more straightforward pressure fighting approach.
This is the toughest fight at 154 for Jaron Boots Ennis. Outside, I think Xander Zayas is a much tougher fight than Vergil Ortiz. I think Vergil Ortiz is tailor-made for Jaron Boots Ennis' skill set. Vergil Ortiz 5'10" with 70-inch armies. Boots got a 4-inch armage advantage. Vergil is flat-footed, come forward, aggressive fighter, predictable, vanilla, no special effects, as Floyd always say. He ain't got no special effects. He's very vanilla. You know what you're gonna get from him. That's not what you get from Xander Zayas. He got extremely long arms, just like Boots. The same height as Boots, but he's agile, he's mobile, he's elusive. That's not what you get.
As fight night gets closer, the boxing world remains deeply divided on whether Xander Zayas has what it takes to challenge Jaron Ennis at the championship level. Debates over Zayas' movement, Ennis' pressure, and the power both fighters bring continue to influence predictions from fans and experts alike. With strong arguments on both sides, this matchup remains one of the most talked about fights in boxing. Let us know your prediction in the comments below.